Okay, time for a new video. Welcome back to my channel, or hello if you're new. This is yet another Eurovision 2026 related video here on my channel, and today you've seen the title of this video. It's a bit of a tradition on my channel where at this time of year I film a why blank should win Eurovision whatever year it is video, and this time around it is time for why Finland should perhaps win Eurovision 2026. As always, you're welcome to let me know your thoughts on anything I discuss in today's video by leaving a comment down below. And as always, there are links in the description to my other social media pages. Check them out if you so wish. This is not going to be one of those videos where I am really going at it and telling you exactly why Finland are going to win this year's competition and your opinions are wrong. This is not that type of video whatsoever. Really, what I'm going to be doing is talking about why Finland should really be in with a very good shot of winning this year's upcoming competition, which will take place in a few weeks' time, as we all know, in Vienna, Austria. Rehearsals will be starting imminently. I have some information in front of me to make sure I don't forget anything too important, but I think if you're going to talk about the reasons why a country should perhaps win an upcoming edition of the Eurovision Song Contest, I think you have to focus on the other side of the coin as well, if you see what I mean, and focus on the reasons as to why a particular country might not win at all. So let's think about those. And this is, of course, somewhat applicable to the other favourites this year, indeed, in any year in which Eurovision is taking place. So, why might Finland not win? Number one, it's entirely possible the staging in Vienna next month won't be that great. A lot of people might be quite disappointed with what they're bringing to the table. The juries won't be terribly impressed. The public certainly won't be impressed. And as a result, all that hype and excitement completely vanishes the week of the competition, and Finland don't win because the staging is all messed up. That's entirely possible. Another possibility is that the vocals aren't any good. Now, I think it's all going to be fine in the first semi-final and indeed the grand final, but it's entirely possible things could go terribly wrong. Petta's vocals could be really shoddy. Linda playing the violin, that could go a little bit awkward somehow. I don't know. And as a result, some comments start to creep in. Oh, actually, Finland might not be the winner we all thought it was going to be. Oh, dearie me. And when the final comes around, Finland don't even come anywhere near to winning. It's a disappointment. That is entirely possible as well. Another reason why Finland might not win is because the juries might not be on board with this. The public might not be on board with this. And if you're not getting a hell of a lot of points in one half of the results, you could be in trouble. Finland could absolutely run away with the jury vote. That could happen, maybe. But if they're not getting a lot of points from the public, they're not going to win overall. Alternatively, if Liekinheiten wins the public vote by a pretty good margin, but finishes, I don't know, 6th or 7th or lower than that in the jury vote, Finland aren't going to win, full stop. That's entirely possible. Another reason there why Finland might not win, because they won't get good, healthy amounts of love in both the jury and public half of the results in the final. Another reason, which I sort of touched upon there, is this concept of being overhyped. Finland have been the favourites to win for pretty much the entirety of this Eurovision season, before UMK even took place. And then Liekinheiten came along, won UMK at a canter, and Finland have been top of the betting odds ever since. And they haven't really had any serious challenger in that time either. Now, we all know there are other contenders this year. A few weeks from now, you're going to have Greece getting a lot of love. You're going to have France up there. You're going to have Denmark. You're going to have Australia. You might have one or two other countries sneaking in and getting a lot of points as well. But Finland are the favourites to win as of this moment in time. And any Eurovision fan, whether they like the Finnish entry or not, knows that Liekinheiten is the song to beat this year. However, coming into the live shows, is it overhyped? last year with Bara Badabastu by Kai, the Swedish entry, that was massively popular. It was getting so many streams, it was getting so many millions of views on YouTube, it was #1 in Sweden for absolutely ages. People were loving it. It looked like a bit of an unstoppable force at one point last year. But then things calmed down a little bit, and at this time of year, without fail, every year I've been a Eurovision fan, it happens where the favourite to win, you know, it's been getting all of this love for so long, but then a few negative comments start creeping in, a few doubts start to arrive on social media perhaps, and it's almost as if some Eurovision fans are really looking so closely at a song and trying to find any flaw they possibly can and use that and say, this is why this country shouldn't be the favourite to win, here's why, and it could be for the most minuscule reason imaginable. I've seen it a little bit already this Eurovision season. And, you know, this idea of something being overhyped, by the time a contest comes around, does that really affect a favourite's chances in the competition? Last year, Sweden didn't win, didn't really come close to winning, and actually the result in the public half of the results wasn't that incredible. I think we all expected it to maybe be a little bit higher. Certainly 220 points plus, something like that. Not really close to that whatsoever. If we go further back in time, 2017, Francesco Gabbani for Italy and Occidentali's Karma, of course the Kyiv competition that year, at one point that song looked like an unstoppable force. It looked like it was going to be an Italian victory. And then, by the time the contest came around, the hype sort of died down. And in the end, Italy finished 6th, didn't really come close to winning whatsoever. Are we going to see something like that this year for Finland, where it's been the favourite for so long, it's been getting a hell of a lot of hype, so many people love this. I've watched videos of Americans reacting to this song, they're loving it. But by the time the contest is upon us in a few weeks' time, is all that hype going to really die down? So much so, Liakin Haytin doesn't come close to winning whatsoever. That's entirely possible. It's also worth remembering that 99% of people watching the contest next month won't have heard this song. They won't have seen the UMK performance. They'll have no idea who Petter Parkonen and Linda Lampenius are. They'll just listen to it on the night. So, will they be impressed the first time they hear and see this, or will they think, really, that's not for me? I don't know. And then, of course, you've got the Eurovision fans who will either still be totally gassed for this track, or they'll be saying things like, oh, it's overhyped, overplayed, I'm not really excited by this anymore, I've heard it too much, etc, etc. Anyway, I'm not really making a great deal of sense here, but nevertheless, that could be a reason as to why Finland don't win, because it's been hyped up so much that actually that doesn't translate into points on the night. It's all well and good, a lot of people, including first-time listeners and viewers, really loving a Eurovision song. You've then actually got to vote for it. We all saw what happened with Switzerland last year, for crying out loud. A disgrace. Anyway, let's now focus on why Finland perhaps deserve to win. And okay, if not this year, then at some point very soon. First things first, UMK. It's been the Finnish national selection for many, many years, and it's been tinkered with over the years, the format. We've had several shows, we've had various juries, we've had some very interesting juries in UMK in the past. I'll let you look those up. And we've also had internally selected artists with a few songs for people to pick from. But now UMK has settled on a tried and tested format where we have about 6 or 7 songs. They are drip-fed to us fans over the course of a week or so early in the year. We have great music videos too. The hype is there, the excitement is there. And we have international juries, we have public voting. It's a sort of 75%, 25% split, something like that, in favour of the public. And then, of course, we have our winner. We have a great show, one show, that's it, every spring. Great audience, great crowd, great venue. Everything is working really nicely for this national final now. They've had it for a long time, they've tinkered with it, and now it's really top-notch. And honestly, I saw clips and various bits of pieces of UMK earlier this year, and I was so impressed. It really is one of the strongest national finals of the season. The presentation is great. The quality of the music is fantastic. Now, this is not me criticising other nations here, not at all. But honestly, some national finals, the format just isn't quite right. We all know it's perhaps not the best. I'm looking at countries like Malta, San Marino to an extent, maybe Lithuania as well. Okay, you get some really good songs coming your way, but at the same time, so many of these songs, and perhaps so many of these shows, just aren't that fabulous. And if you look at Melfest, which has come under heavy criticism from fans at times in the past, you get so many returning names, you sort of know what you're going to get sometimes weeks in advance of the shows taking place, which is a real disappointment. If you see Robin Bengtsson's name on the list, you already have a pretty good idea perhaps as to what type of song he's going to have. If you see, I don't know, let's say Saga Ludvigsson comes back next year, or let's say that it's somebody like, I don't know, let's say Måns Zelmerlöw maybe comes back at some point in the future. You sort of know what you're going to get. With UMK, you don't get as many returning names, but you do get quite a few big names. And I think it's really impressive that over the years, UMK has improved so much that some of the biggest artists in Finland are rumoured to be taking part in this event every year. Like I said, you're not always getting a lot of returning names, one or two here or there, but generally it's a fresh batch, which is really exciting and fantastic. And the quality is really, really high. Now, why is the quality so good? I think you'd be hard pushed to find a Eurovision fan who thinks the quality of UMK is really disappointing. Most of the songs we get are very competitive, quite radio friendly. They feel quite current, fresh, interesting. There is some diversity, which is absolutely fantastic. We get songs in Finnish as well as English, also wonderful. I'm going to take a look at it here. I am rambling big time, I am aware, but I feel like I have to get all of my thoughts out as best I can. If you take a look here, UMK this year, 491 received submissions, which is a record for the current format. A panel of 9 experts appointed by the broadcaster alongside 5 audience juries selected the 7 entries in question. And what I really like about UMK is that everything feels quite precise and clean and exact and not a waste of time. They're not having this really convoluted, long-winded format, which is really fantastic. I would rather have, I don't know about you, but I would rather have a national final that is one show, 6 or 7 songs, that's it. High quality songs, of course, rather than a national final that goes on for about 7 weeks with 40 plus songs, and most of them, we all know, don't stand the damn chance of victory. Finland have this format locked down. It is tried and tested. It is working. They are reaping the benefits of it. I'm looking here at the experts in question. You have the head of music at YLEX. You have the head of music at YLE Radio Suomi, the head of music at YLE Svenska, the music editor at YLEX, Katri Norrin. She's fantastic. She does this interview series on YouTube where she talks to a bunch of Finnish artists on a bed. She interviewed Karja not so long ago. And if Finland win Eurovision this year, she may well be a presenter of Eurovision next year, if you ask me. You have a music professional, a promoter at Sunborn Live. I'm not sure what that is, but it sounds like a great time. You have the head of music at Nelonen Media. You have the project director of Ology. You have a lecturer at the Sibelius Academy and a UMK vocal coach. So these people, they're looking for the best of the best. They are not looking for half-baked, disappointing, lackluster, dated material. They are looking for current, fresh, relevant, exciting, great names. And this year was arguably the strongest edition of UMK we've had thus far. The songs were revealed between January the 14th and 22nd. We had Takatuka by Antti Paalanen. That was really different from anything that we usually get in any national final anywhere across the continent. A guy throat singing with the accordion swaying about a little bit. It was very unique. It was very interesting. It was you know, some people might have seen this as a bit of a jokey entry at first, but it also didn't really feel like much of a jokey entry. It felt quite serious somehow, at least to me, and definitely it was in with a shot of victory. All of these songs could have won this national final, potentially. You had Cherry Cake by Chachi, $1 Million Smile, Eta, Rakal Den Kipi by Kiki, Lulule by Komiat, Ready to Leave by Sinigamonte, and then of course you had Liekin Hating by Linda Lampenius and Petter Parkkonen. Now let me talk a little bit about the artists in question, even though I already have in previous videos. Linda Lampenius was born in February 1970. She's 56 years of age. She is a world-renowned classical concert violinist, born into a Swedish-speaking Finnish family. She has performed all over the world. She has performed classical music, world music, Christmas music, jazz. She's released a whole bunch of albums. She's collaborated with loads of musicians. She's been an actress. She's dabbled in politics. She's been an entrepreneur. She's been an author. She's been a model. She's also had a rally license. She has really dipped her toes into a bit of everything, and now she's coming for the Eurovision trophy as well. And then you've got Petter Parkkonen, who is doing the singing in this track. He's 36, born in February 1990. His birthday is 2 days after mine. He came to prominence after appearing on Finnish Idol. He's released a whole bunch of albums, but not for several years. He's had a whole bunch of singles, including Girl in a Uniform, Portat, Joulurauha, Mitä mä teen, and he's collaborated with various musicians as well, including Cheek, and the song that Petter had with them went to #1 in 2016. Anyway, what a fantastic duo this is. The song is a mixture of pop meets classical, but not in the way that we had with Wasted Love or The Code. You know, I've not really seen many people say that this song is tired or disappointing or a real letdown because of the winning songs we've had in the past 2 years. Whereas with France this year, that song is definitely leaning right into the whole popra effect. And I have seen some people say, oh, I don't really want this to win because although I appreciate Monroe is a really good singer, we have had popra-type songs win in the past 2 years. We don't want another one. What this Finnish entry is doing very well is it's not going full-blown popra whatsoever. It says here pop rock. I suppose you can definitely classify it as that. We have classical elements. It is definitely not going full-blown opera style, if you see what I mean, which can be a bit alienating, I suppose, because that's I was going to say a niche genre, but definitely opera-type stuff is not for everybody, and when people have listened to Regard, I don't know, some people can feel quite cold and distant from that style of music, if you see what I mean, whereas Liekin Hating, I don't know, there's something a little bit more inviting about it, perhaps. This has real energy, it has real momentum, it builds and builds and builds. You've got Petter with his smouldering looks into the camera at times. You have Linda, you know, this ice queen playing the violin. She may well be playing it live in Vienna next month, we'll wait and see. And there's that moment during the UMK performance where she struts down the stage. We are going to get that, I'm sure, in Vienna. The stage is made for it. And then you have that sort of confessional booth type thing with flames going around it, and the energy is building all the time. There is this real... I think the theme of this year's competition is energy, to be honest with you, because you've got Greece as well, you've got Moldova, you've got Denmark, which has this real burst of energy in the final third. And with Finland, absolutely. It's almost as if, you know, it's this simmering anger, this simmering venom bubbling under the surface. And then obviously you have that very manic, frantic last 15 to 20 seconds or so with that big, long, high note. Linda playing the violin as if her life depends on it. And that to me is the real selling point of this song. That last 20 seconds or so, it's like such a release, this pent-up energy. And on stage at UMK, watching that performance on YouTube, I just thought, wow, this is really well done. You had the flames all around them. You had the chairs that were being lifted up behind them as well. Everything was really, really effective. It didn't feel too overdone. It didn't feel too overcooked. It didn't feel too messy. And I go back to what I said earlier about UMK in general. Everything feels quite clean and polished and slick and exactly the way it should be. Nothing feels too fake or forced or awkward or not quite working, perhaps. Everything, to me at least, feels as if it is pretty much bang on the money. And this performance at UMK I thought was really pretty decent. Vocally, fine, certainly better than I could sing it, and the staging, certainly quite impressive. Now, what they have to do, and hopefully we will see evidence of this before too long, they have to take what they have, go to Eurovision and elevate it significantly. So have more flames, ramp up the energy somehow, nail those vocals. I don't know what else they could really do, but I'm excited to see what they are going to do, because this is the favourite to win, so you've got to go out there and prove to everybody why you're the favourites to win. You are in it to win it. You've got to blow people's socks off. And of course, what with this song being called Flamethrower, you know, get the flames out, blow everybody away. Anyway, you can tell that I'm losing the plot and rambling big time here. I just feel as though this song is bringing something quite different to the table. It's bringing something quite dynamic with real vigour. I'm looking at the Greek track and I'm thinking, yeah, you know, that's obviously in it to win it as well, but I don't know. Are people going to enjoy it for what it is and then maybe not feel compelled to vote for it? I don't really know. Also, is that song, Ferto by Akilas, really going to get a huge amount of jury love? I don't know. Then you've got Denmark, which is currently doing well in the Euro jury thing that Eurovoix.com organise every year. That's definitely in it to win it. Certainly, I could see Denmark perhaps winning this year. But at the same time, when you have one or two other songs that are perhaps more likely to win, I don't know this year, is Denmark going to get enough love? Is that song, For Vi Går Hjem, going to get more points than Lea Kincaid in the jury vote, in the public vote? I am not so sure. Then you've got France. Monroe could absolutely run away with the jury vote. But is she going to get the public love? I'm not so sure. And then, of course, you have Finland sitting right there. And at this moment in time, this is the song to beat as far as I'm concerned. The bookmakers think it's the song to beat. I've seen a lot of people rank this number one. Admittedly, what we see online is not really massively relevant because most people who watch in May will not have heard this song or seen the performance before. But I can see this song getting enough love in the jury vote. They are going to appreciate the classy nature of this track, and I think it is classy. You've got Linda looking very classy herself, and the violin is played just splendidly, and Petter, you know, he's singing really well. He's got such power in his voice. Right before the chorus kicks in, you can really hear it, and the sort of anguish on his face as he's singing this song and really feeling the lyrics. Again, it doesn't feel over the top, though. It doesn't feel forced. It doesn't feel awkward. It just feels so right. Everything is really tight already with this performance. You've just got to take it and tighten it up even further. So it is so hard to beat in Vienna. I think the jurors are really going to like this. I think they're going to find a lot to appreciate about it. And as for the public, well, I can't really see a situation in which this flops massively, but I go back to the point I made at the start of this very long rambling video when I said about overhype. There is the possibility that people will be tired of this a little bit by the time Eurovision comes around in a few weeks, and that will not translate into a huge amount of points. If this song wins the jury vote, it has to finish in the top 5 of the public vote and vice versa. And I think that's entirely possible. I look at Greece, maybe that won't finish top 5 in the jury vote. I look at Denmark, maybe that won't finish top 5 in the public vote. I look at Australia, maybe that won't finish top 5 in the public vote. I look at Romania, that probably won't finish top 5 in either the public or the jury vote. I look at France, that might not finish top 5 in the public vote. I look at Finland, and I think that will finish in the top 5 of the public and jury vote. And, you know, I hate to say it, but let's be realistic here. the only country that might, and okay, maybe I'm getting a bit carried away here, but the only country that might stop Finland winning, you know which country I'm on about, Israel. Israel will throw a spanner in the works again this year. We all know what's going to damn well happen again. But if Israel win the public vote, and they probably will, they're not going to win the jury vote, because we've seen what's happened in the past 2 years. Michelle, it's okay, but come on now, winning material, I'm not so sure. If the Israeli track wins the public vote, finishes, I don't know, 12th or 13th in the jury vote, that's just not going to be enough to win. We saw it last year, and this year, when you've got Greece clearly going to get a huge amount of love, when you've got Denmark should be getting a huge amount of love, Australia going to be getting a ton of love from the juries, France, ton of love from the juries, it just feels as though that path to victory for that Israeli track is going to be harder this time around. Maybe. And as such, Finland can swoop in and say thank you very much, we'll take the win. But if Finland don't win, it might be because of what might happen with Israel. You know, this could win the public vote, it could do very well in the jury vote, you never know, and that could mean that actually Liekki finishes in second place or something. We'll just have to wait and see. Right now, and I'm going to wrap this video up fairly soon because I'm getting sick of my own voice. Right now, April the 28th, I think Finland are the country to beat. I can understand why they are the favourites to win. Okay, not massively, comfortably favourites to win, but still top of the betting odds at this moment in time. I've seen a lot of people rank this number one. I just think the performance is ready-made for Eurovision as well. That's another thing that's so impressive about UMK, is that the performances are all so strong already. Some artists are going out on stage, and this is not me criticising them whatsoever, but sometimes you see it. You see performances at national finals, and you know there's potential, but it's going to take a long while before that potential is realised, or maybe we'll never see that potential realised. And that can be, you know, a real letdown, because once you're at Eurovision and not delivering the goods, it's as simple as that. You're not delivering the goods. You have no chance of victory, potentially. Whereas I look at Sweden are the kings of this, of course, but I look at UMK now and I'm thinking, that performance is ready for Eurovision, and this song, with its energy, with its vim and vigour and passion and grit and flames everywhere, I'm looking at that and I'm thinking, yeah, this is going to work at Eurovision already. Take what you've got, tighten the screws, happy days. And this is ready-made for a big audience, an excited crowd, and yeah, they've got to go out there and absolutely blow people away. And I have full faith that they will. The national final format is working. It's, as I said earlier, tried and tested. They don't really need to tweak things anymore. Look at Melfest. I'm not going to criticise SVT here, but Melfest is changing ever so slightly pretty much every year because they can't quite settle on a format that works. It's almost as if they are trying to get the perfect format, when, in my opinion, they should be taking a leaf out of their neighbours' books. Look at UMK. It's working. The songs are top quality. The selection process is simple and effective. The way the songs are released is great. One per day over the course of a week or so. It gives us time to listen to them, to enjoy them, to digest them, to understand them before we move on to another song, which is probably completely different, but just as competitive, just as strong, just as in it to win it. Ideally, you want a national final where every song is capable of winning. And it felt like with UMK this year, every song was in with a fairly good shot of perhaps winning the thing at first, which is really incredible. And credit where credit is due. Absolutely fantastic. Liekki, however, of course, was the clear winner, ahead of Antti Paalanen and Komiat, who finished third. This received 12 points from every international jury except Malta and Austria. Even the UK jury gave this 12 points, and I'm always a bit wary of a UK jury because sometimes they wouldn't know a good song if it slapped them in the face, but they gave this 12. The omens are good. The signs are good. And if the vocals are bang on the money, if the staging is elevated from what we had at UMK, if the excitement is still there and doesn't die down, fantastic. Finland were very close to winning in Liverpool in 2023. Then, of course, we had Windows 95 man, and we don't really talk about that. That was a bit of a blip on the radar. And then we had last year Erika Wickman with a really strong, quite saucy number. Didn't finish in the top 10. And if anything, maybe underperformed a little bit there in the public half of the results. But nevertheless, not a bad result. Let's not forget, Finland have only won once. If you take a look at their record in Eurovision over the past, well, ever since they debuted, more disappointing results than really great results, it's fair to say. But now we have come to expect Finland to do very well every year, have a really strong national final every year, and be competitive every year. Regular finalists. And this year, they are in it to win it, and I think it would be a statement win 20 years after Lordi. And you know as well that if Finland win, they will embrace Eurovision next year. They're going to put on a fantastic show, whether that's in Tampere or Helsinki. It's bound to be one of those two cities. They are going to put on a really, really spectacular, impressive production because they've been gearing up for this. They want to win. It shows. The competitive nature is there. The quality is top notch. I am running out of steam. I am going to leave it there because I don't really have a great deal else to say. I am aware that I could have made many, many more points here, and I've maybe not sounded terribly convincing. But as I said right at the start of this video, this is more about why Finland should perhaps win Eurovision 2026. Not so much Finland will win Eurovision 2026. I'm not saying that at all. This song is my favourite of the year. I know it's the favourite for a lot of people. And I'm not going to go ahead and say at this moment in time that this song is unstoppable in Vienna next month. Not at all, because Greece are there, France are there, so on and so forth. But this is the one to beat. And if everything comes together really nicely, if everything has just been turned up a notch from what we had at UMK, and the rehearsal footage that we see and the photographs that we see, and okay, it might not be a great deal, but when we see those and everything is looking really, really great, maybe then I will start saying, okay, it's going to be very difficult for anybody to top Finland this year. And if it's not this year, they deserve to win very soon. That is for sure. And yeah, I'm very excited to see what happens over the next couple of weeks. I actually have, you can't really see it, but the Finnish flag is on the back of my door. And yeah, I'll be supporting them and hoping that they do the business next month. We shall wait and see, won't we? That is why Finland should perhaps win Eurovision 2026. I'm not going to repeat myself any further. If you've watched this whole thing, I thank you very much. I am always a little bit iffy when it comes to these types of videos because I totally run out of steam and ramble like you wouldn't believe. But nevertheless, it's over and done with for now. There might be another video like this very soon. I don't know. I do have another country in mind. I may film it, I may not. So watch this space. But then, before you know it, the contest will be upon us. And next month is set to be quite a busy one for me. Away from YouTube, that is for sure, focusing on other things. But hopefully, I will film videos as regularly as I did last year and the year before that. On the Monday, the 11th of May, I believe it will be, there will be a preview of Semi-Final 1 and a prediction, of course. On Tuesday, the reaction to the Semi-Final 1 results. On the Wednesday, a review of Semi-Final 1, preview of Semi-Final 2 and a prediction for the Semi-Final 2 results. On the Thursday, a reaction to the Semi-2 results. On the Friday, a review of Semi-Final 2, a preview of the final, and a very rough prediction for the Grand Final results. And then on the Saturday, the big one, the reaction to the Grand Final results as they come in. And then a few days after that, a long, rambling review of the entire contest. This time next month, we will be talking about which country and which city in that country will be staging Eurovision 2027. But anyway, that is it. My voice is shot to pieces now. Let me know your thoughts on anything I've discussed in today's video. Do you agree with me? Disagree with me? Whatever it is, I'm interested to know. Do you think it will be Finland winning this year's competition? Do you think it is overhyped, and why? And do you think that could potentially be damaging next month, even with first-time listeners and viewers tuning in as well for the live shows? Or do you think this is really very, very hard to beat? Whatever it is, feel free to let me know. Thank you for the support lately. It means a great deal. This has been a very successful Eurovision season for my channel, if I say so myself. I'm very grateful for all of the views and the comments. I'm going to shut up now. At last, you'll be pleased to know. Until next time, hopefully this video turned out okay. Take care of yourselves, stay safe, and bye for now.